In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. I am going to talk about Morphology, chapter 6 of the book, which I suppose it's page 75. Okay? I want to have no picture, and you can follow me as easily without the picture of mine. Okay? What is morphology? Well, actually, you see, this is the topic of something like morphology on page 75, and we want to talk about it. There's a language like, I don't know the name, it's an East African language like, I don't know, Swahili, I suppose, line 2, which is something like this. Okay, when you, in this language, when you want to say, I will love you, line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, page, line 8 of the page 75, you say something like, Nita kupenda. What does it mean? There is the word love, and you add elements to this love, like Nita ku. You add these words, these little parts. Maybe these prefixes, as we studied in the previous chapter. So, if we say that, what is nitakupenta in this language? We say it's a kind of word, but do we look at, we have to look at the internal structure of this word. Okay, we find that there are 3 prefixes added to the word penda, which means I will love you. Okay, I will love you. Okay, now the topic of this presentation today is exactly something similar. What is it? We want to, in fact, see what are these little elements in Swahili, no, in English. Let us go to study something called morphology. Okay, what is morphology? It is the study of these little parts. Okay, so we don't study words, we say morphology, which is the study of these words, or sometimes the smaller parts than the words themselves. So let us go to, in fact, the morphemes. What is a morpheme? Instead of saying words, we say words are not sometimes a combination of 2, 3 smaller parts, as this example actually showed. Okay? Well, what about English? In English, we say something like line 3, talks. Line 3, talks. Talker, talked, and talking. How many words are there? Talk is one, talker is another one, talked is another one, talking is still another, and at the end of the line we have talk. So we call these all as words. But no, let us call them something new. We call them that these words sometimes have little parts like S plural, like ER, like ED, etc., like ING, etc. So let us call from now on that talks has got 2 parts. Talker is another, 2 parts. And talked again 2 parts. Or talking again 2 parts, but talk at the end of the line it has got only 1 part. From now on, we call these little parts as morphemes. We are going to describe them as morphemes. What is a morpheme? The morpheme is the next line, a minimal unit of meaning or grammatical function. What does it mean? Back to the examples. The word talks has got two morphemes. Talk is 1, S another. So there are 2. Again, talker, 2. Again, talked, 2. Again, talking has got 2. Talk is 1, ing is another. ER is 1, talk is another. ED is 1, and the word talk is another. So we call them as morphemes. Now let us go to table 6.1. A word like line 1. Renewed. Renewed. Look at here. Re, new, and it. Okay? How many morphemes does it have? We come to say this is ed is 1. Next is new, next is re. So that's got 3 parts. Okay? What? Well, let's call these as a word of 3 morphemes. 3 morphemes. Okay? Let's see. Re is 1, new is another, and it is another. Now let us go to the next one. Tour, est, and es plural. Tourists. Again, 3 parts. Tour is 1, est is another, es plural is still another. So the word tourists has got 3 parts again. Now let us come back and look at it once more. Sometimes the meaning, the things that we have show something like meanings, like re, which means again, and new means recently made. We put these 2 things together. Sometimes morphemes have grammatical functions, like ed in the past tense. Ed is the past tense. So in Fosha we say something like سيقول. Okay, so in Fosha we say سيقام. Okay, sa is got something like a grammatical function. It is not vocabulary. Okay, to the left we have grammatical, to the right we have grammatical function of morphemes. To the left we have meaning units of meaning, minimal units of meaning. It's once more. To the right we have grammatical function. To the left we have meaning. Okay, well, let's go to the next part and talk about free and bound morphemes. Easy for you to understand. Free and bound morphemes. Morphemes that can stand alone without the help of others are said to be free. Morphemes that are added to other morphemes are said to be bound morphemes. Okay? What? Like what? If you actually look at something like pages, the next page on the list, undressed and carelessness. Let's see what page it is. It's page 77. You see on is added to the word dressed, and care is added, less and ness is added to the word carelessness. So first of all, how many morphemes do we have in the word undressed? Okay, let's see. On is 1, dress is another, it is another. Similarly, in the word careless, how many are there? Care is 1, less is another, ness is another, still another. So both the words undressed and carelessness have got 3 morphemes. Okay? But let's see which one is free, which one is bound. For the word undressed, the stem is dress. The dress is free. You can see it without on, sometimes without ed. Okay? So it is free. Now, what about these 2 little things that are added to the beginning and the end? The prefix on and the suffix ed. These 2 things are said to be bound morphemes. Bound morphemes. Back here. Let's go to the second one. Carelessness. Okay? Let us look at the word carelessness. Okay? Now, care is free and lessonness are added. There are 2 suffixes here. No prefix, 2 suffixes. Okay, so far so good. So we have morphemes, and morphemes can be divided into free and bound morphemes. Sometimes we, in fact, make categorization, make a distinction between two other types of morphemes: lexical morphemes and functional morphemes. Look, lexical and functional morphemes. What are lexical morphemes? Lexical morphemes are like nouns, like verbs, and like adjectives. Line 2. Like nouns, like verbs, and like adjectives. And sometimes adverbs. Okay? These are lexical morphemes. What does it mean? It means that these morphemes have some, in fact, content in them. They carry the content, the meaning in them. Line 3, content. Content of the, in fact, the message in it. So we want to show some meaning, we want to express something, some meaning, we use these types of morphemes. Sometimes instead of content we have function. Function. Okay? Well, like the one, which ones? Like the functional morphemes here, okay? Well, functional morphemes do not have meanings in themselves, but in the grammar of their language, they make sense there. They actually play meanings there, or play, in fact, grammatical functions there. Examples are articles. Articles, like what? Like and. Conjunctions, and, because. These are not meaningful. They are actually functionals. Okay? And next is prepositions like on and near. Okay? Prepositions do not have meanings themselves. Actually, they show functional. They are functional morphemes. And pronouns like it and me, these are functional morphemes. Remember what we mean by lexical and functional morphemes. By lexical morphemes, we simply mean the kinds that carry content, and the functional morphemes, we mean that they are, in fact, instead of content, they have got something called function. Okay. Now there's something else. There's one more distinction between lexical morphemes and functional morphemes. With lexical morphemes, we say it is easy to add a new item to the list. So if we don't have something like, let's say, a word, we actually make it. How? We go and make it according to the previous chapter. So in English, years ago, about 20 or 30 years ago, they didn't have something like cell phone. What happened? They had the ordinary telephone, but no cell phone. What did they do? They added a kind of vocabulary to the English. Okay? Now we say cell phone. Okay? Why? Because cell phone is a lexical morpheme. Like what? Like a noun. It's a noun, and nouns are lexical morphemes. So we needed a new piece of vocabulary, we added. And we added it. But can I add something like a new kind of preposition to English? Can I add something like and to English? A new kind of and? A new kind of on? The preposition on? Or something which means something like me? No. Why? Because they are closed. They are closed, not open class or open class. Okay, let's see. Yes, on the last line you can see the closed class of words. Okay, so all in all, there are two types of morphemes: lexical morphemes and functional morphemes. Lexical morphemes like girls, house, etc. line 2, and functional morphemes like and because line 2 of the next paragraph, or a and the. Okay, these are functional morphemes. Well, lexical morphemes have got meanings in them. Functional morphemes have functions and grammars in them. They carry the grammar, the structure of the sentence, the structure of the message, let's say. Okay? Lexical morphemes are open. They can add a new vocabulary. And functional morphemes are closed. We cannot add to the list. Okay? So I suppose we stop at this part. Okay? Thank you very much. I'm going to, in fact, talk about a new part in the next presentation. Thank you very much.